Hello and welcome to 5 Year Club video number 278. Didn't know what to talk about tonight. The obvious thing to talk about is what are you going to do with your mid-month paycheck, assuming that you're on that kind of 2-week plan. For me, it's coming out on Monday, and that is kind of a trigger where I say, okay, I need to re-look at the second half of October and see, are there any changes I need to make? How much money am I going to transfer into savings? That kind of thing. And so I invite you, do the same thing. Know your savings account. Know the amount that you're going to immediately transfer in so that you don't have to think about that later in the month. Anyhow, in the course of looking at my budget, I saw that I'm paying for Audible, right? And I've got 2 Audible credits that I have not yet used. And so that got me looking on Audible for books, and specifically something that I wanted to read more about is how to make myself more comfortable with risk, because I'm not comfortable enough with risk and I don't take enough risks. And so I don't benefit as much as I could. And in the course of looking up books on risk, I found some other interesting books. So I thought I'd share those because I think that these books talk about a lot of the stuff that I talk about here, and also just being educated is a great thing. First one is Taking Smart Risks, How Sharp Leaders Win When Stakes Are High. It's got a pretty good review. It's like a 4.4. I kind of worry because the author is described as like a leadership guru guy, leadership expert. There we are. Yeah, leadership expert. And I'm kind of like, I'm not sure if I want to listen to a leadership expert. I think I would just want to listen to like a CEO, like someone who's actually doing it, not somebody who's like a self-declared leadership expert. So the next one I looked at was HBR's 10 must-reads on making smart decisions. And this looked a little bit better, in part because one of the authors is Daniel Kahneman, who is the psychology professor who's also the author of Thinking Fast and Slow, so he's very, very highly regarded. You can see there was a bunch of these Harvard Business Review's 10 must-reads. So I've been eyeballing those for a while. The one that I clicked on next is about managing yourself. And I think this is an interesting concept, managing yourself. What does that even mean? And one of the authors here, it's Frederick Drucker, who's and Daniel Goleman. That name seems really familiar. Was that the emotional intelligence author? Anyway, this was interesting because I'm going through this job hunt process right now, and I'm not that good at going through the job hunt process. I have to now reach out and talk to recruiters, which is not something that I'm used to doing, and I'm very uncomfortable with it. I just don't like it. I don't like, having to say the same thing over and over again to people. And I don't like the idea that, I could contact, 4 people, which is a fraction of the number, less than 10% of the number that I could. And then, keeping up those 4 conversations at once and scheduling calls to talk to people and figuring out what the interviews would be like and all of that it's annoying to think about, because really I just want to sit down and do more work. But real work, not applying for job work, but building something work. I like building things. And so for me, there's a self-management as in okay, I know I don't like doing this. I know I have to do it. So what am I going to change in my life to encourage myself to do it? What am I going to change in my life to make this easier? What am I going to change to be more successful in this thing that that I'm not? You're not trained to be successful at interviews, right? I mean, some people are, I guess, if you're in sales, if you're constantly selling yourself, then when you come upon an interview situation, then it's kind of more of the same. Or if you're a consultant, you're interviewing all the time anyway for potential clients. But if you're an engineer and you're used to just like dealing with mathematical / technical structures and manipulating them, then this isn't your bread and butter. And so it takes, you got to like think through everything, right? You got to think through like, okay, like how many people am I able to talk to on a given day? It takes some time. So I'm thinking I might get this Managing Yourself book. It is 7 hours though. It's pretty long. This is always my conundrum, which is that the Audible credits are costing me $14.95 a month, and this book is $13.96. So the logical thing to do is to just buy the book with cash. On the other hand, if I use an Audible credit, I won't have to spend any. Cash at all. But the long-term thing, assuming I'm going to listen to all these books, the long-term good thing is just to buy this with cash. So I think that's what I'm going to do. And let's see what the final book I looked at was Understanding the Mysteries of Human Behavior. That's a little bit abstract for me, but it does have quite a good score. Let's see what the publisher's summary says. Let's see. Since the start of recorded history, and probably even before, people have been interested in answering questions about why we behave the way we do, and many fields, including philosophy, psychology, and even theology, are focused on finding explanations, but it's only in recent decades that researchers can finally approach, understand, and solve the mysteries of emotion, thought, and behavior, solutions that help each of us to better know ourselves and the people around us. The result is not only a more solid understanding of what it means to be human, but a stronger foundation from which to live more effectively with others and to grasp their intricate behaviors and quirks. Now you can gain those benefits through a series of 24 intriguing lectures from an award-winning teacher. Professor Leary takes you on a fascinating journey into the complex heart of who you are, using the latest theories, case studies, and experiments, and stories to cast light on a wide variety of human behaviors, both ordinary and puzzling. Well, that sounds cool, but it doesn't sound as focused as the thing I need right now, which is a shot of motivation to force myself to, participate in a process that I don't like, but I'll probably have to do again in another few years anyway. Alrighty. Well, uh-oh. You never saw that. Are you gonna move? Yeah, I purchased something. Alright, well, I'm going to enjoy this book and save some money, plan the rest of your October. Have a fabulous evening.